And welcome to a Greater You show here on IntellectualRadio.com. In an iHeart station, I'm your host here, Dr. Anthony L. Gantt. We are the station that feeds your brain. Anywhere that you get any of your podcasts, you can get all of our shows here. We have shows here Sunday through Saturday, mornings, afternoons, and evenings. And if you haven't already, if you'd be so kind, go to YouTube. If you're watching on another platform, you go to YouTube and go to IntellectualRadio.com and hit the subscribe button there, as well as hit the bell so you can be notified of all the shows that we have going on here Sunday through Saturday. We have in educational shows, fitness shows, entertainment shows, relationship shows, religious shows, community activist shows. We have a lot of great shows here, again, Sunday through Saturday. So again, we're the station to feed your brain. And I'm going to do my part to feed your brain this evening or during this episode here. But before I get started, I'm going to promote someone. And if you'd like to get promoted on any of the shows that I have here on IntellectualRadio.com, you can get in contact with me with Full of Purpose at fullofpurposemedia@gmail.com. That's fullofpurposemedia@gmail.com. Today we're going to promote Miss Pamela Denise. She's a real estate professional. So whether you are a first-time home buyer, an investor looking to build your portfolio, or you're purchasing your dream home, Pamela Denise at Exception Realty is who you need to call. She has 24 years of experience and a team that is ready, willing, and very capable to assist in all of your real estate needs. You also get a free consultation by mentioning you heard about Pamela Denise on a Greater You show here on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart Station. And for more information, again, you can contact Ms. Pamela Denise at 773-447-8546. That's 773-447-8546. Or info@keepitmoving.us. Again, that's info, I-N-F-O, at K-I-E-E-P, as in Paul, I-T as in Tom, M-O-V as Victor, I-N-G as in great, .us. So you can get in contact with her and any type of real estate needs that you're trying to accomplish, whether you want to buy something or you want to sell a property that you have, you want to get in touch with her. She can help you get that done. So if you're new to me and new to IntellectualRadio.com, so we're going to get started. And if you're new to me, this is a self-help show, and it's a self-help class, self-help coaching session, self-help book club, and we are in a series now, and we always have a particular series, and we do, 4 or 5 sessions in that series. And this series we're doing is How to Be in Healthy Relationships, Part 4. So it's the last part of the series that we're doing. And every series that I do is based on a book that I have written on the particular topic. And the book that I'll be bringing information from is a book that I've written called It's Great, The 7 Pillars to Being in a Healthy Relationship. So we went over quite a few things thus far. And again, if you're new to me again or new to IntellectualRadio.com, I always do a recap to kind of catch you up. And if you missed the show or if you're new to me, then you can kind of know where we are, because I may repeat some things and I may not repeat anything. Then you said, well, how's that tie into something else? Because it was probably in the last show or one of the other sessions that we did. So we came in session 1, we came from lesson 1 in the book, and we talked about how it's great to be in a healthy relationship. If the relationship is healthy, then it's great. If it's unhealthy, then it's probably a gruesome relationship. It doesn't mean you are the person that's gruesome. It just means that the relationship you are both in, you may have 2 people that's unhealthy, and that causes an unhealthy relationship. And we talked about what a relationship was, as far as the relationship means. R-E means back and again, and late in the word means to carry or to bear. So when you're in a relationship, you are carrying or bearing someone again and again. They're carrying you again and again. Now, we're not talking about physically carrying someone, but what we're talking about really emotionally and mentally, how you carry people. This is why we can be happy about somebody that can be 100 miles away. We can think about them because they gave us something to carry that was good, that we feel good about. And sometimes this is why we can be upset with people that's 100 miles away, because they gave us something to carry and we still mad at them, right? We're like, man, that person, man, I'll knock them out, right? Because we carry something with them. So you're going to carry something. You're going to carry the people you are in relationship with you, even when you're not with them. And you're going to give people something to carry with them when they're not with you. So now you can't control what someone gives you to carry per se, but you can control what you give other people to carry away with them when they're not with you. So you have to become healthy. So you want to give people your health. So we said there's 2 things that every person is bringing into the relationship. And that's healing and hurt. And if you don't focus on being a healthy person, that means you don't focus on being an unhealthy person. And you might not even focus on being an unhealthy person. That's what you're going to be. And that means you're just going to spread all your hurt around to the people you're in a relationship with. You're just going to hurt people and hurt people and hurt people because you're a hurt person. right? Because hurt people hurt people. However, you start developing the healing that you have within you, then you will heal people, heal people, heal people, and that's because you're a heal people, heal person, because heal people, heal people. So you want to be a healthy person. So those are some of the things we talked about in first session. How you want to don't treat you want to treat the person that you with when you first meet them. They're generalities, and then but when you get to know them, they become specific people. You get to know specific information about them, and so forth, and then that helps them become a special person to you. So this is why a lot of us don't like to. We feel so we don't feel special in relationships that we in, because people never get past the generality. So when you single, everything is general because you don't have anybody to deal with. So you can say all men are this way, all women are this way, because you don't have a man or a woman. So you can be as general as you want to be. However, once you get with a person, now you have to kind of get rid of some of your general knowledge because you have a specific person that you're dealing with, and then they're not just all women or all men; they're that person. So you got to get some specific knowledge, meaning that you're gonna move into some major areas in their life to help them get healed. So that's some of the things we talked about in session one. That's a whole lot. But session two, we came from lesson 5 from the book, and we talked about your functions. You need to know your functions, and we talked about the 3 functions you are. You're a doctor, you're a nurse, and you're also a patient. And a doctor, they give prescriptions and they diagnose problems. So you wear that hat all the time, and so does the other person. And then you're a nurse, so you need to nurture people back to help, and so does the other person. They need to nurture you back to help. But the interesting thing is you are also a patient, right? So you are a patient and you have a patient, right? And since you are a patient, that should help you develop some patience for the person that you're in a relationship with. And hopefully, your job is that you're going to try to help heal those people or heal the person. I'm sure you. I don't know if you're in a relationship with 5 people at the same time. That's a lot of work. But in a relationship with one person, you're going to help heal that person. And hopefully, you're going to allow them to help heal you. So that was pretty much some of the things we talked about. That you want to be a medicine person, you want to be a repair person. And if you're not focused on being a repair person, that means you're going to be a sabotager. I know that's not a word, but in my world it is. So you're going to be a sabotager. I mean, you're going to tear up stuff. You're going to scratch up stuff, thrash stuff. You're going to tear stuff up. And usually when we're unhealthy, we do stuff like, I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me. I'm going to get over on you before you get over on me. I'm going to get this from you before you get it from me. And that's when we acting in an unhealthy manner. It'd be different. We say, I'm going to give you my healing before you give me your healing, right? But usually we don't act that way. So I did make the point, like how many times you just count on you in one hand, or you think about 10 couples or 5 couples, that's a healthy relationship. And a lot of times we haven't seen healthy relationships. So that's why we don't know what they look like when we see them, right? Somebody step in our life that's healthy. We don't even understand what's going on because all the relationships we've seen, mama, daddy, auntie, uncle, grandma, granddaddy, sister, brother, all the relationships we've seen, my best friend, all the cousins, them, most people we know have been in unhealthy relationships, right? So since they've been in unhealthy relationships, we don't even know what a healthy relationship look like. So when a healthy person stroll across our life, we don't even know what that is. We're looking for a lot of drama, right? And when we're unhealthy, we got a lot of drama. When we're healthy, we want a lot of peace. So, you can only get what you have. So we talked about that too. So in session 3, we came from lesson 8 from the book. And we talked about how you want to be useful in a relationship, right? Everybody want to feel useful to the person that they're in a relationship with, right? You don't want to be used up. You want to feel useful, right? Meaning that you help people get something. No one is perfect, right? All of us on the planet, you, me, everybody need some help. I need help. You need help. Your mama need help. Your dad need help. Your sister need help. But everybody need help. Now, some of us got so hurt in the past that we don't want to ask for help. That was one of my biggest problems. I didn't want to ask for no help. I got hurt so many times. I was like, man, I ain't ask for nothing. I just do it myself. Well, some things you can do yourself. But like I stated that one of the hats you wear as a doctor and a medical doctor, we use that for an example. They may be good at brain surgery or good at heart surgery, but if they need to do something on their heart, they can't jump on the table and do their own heart surgery. They're going to need to let somebody else do the heart surgery because they need some help. And the same thing with you and I. See, you may be good over here in one area, but you're going to need some help over here in another area, right? And the areas that you don't ask for help, the longer you go not asking for help, the longer you're going to stay in the hurt that you have. So you got to you need to be open to help. And that was something that I had to learn how to do and still practicing as well. All these things I'm still practicing as well, that, because I want to be a healthy person, right? I work on being a healthy person because I haven't always been a healthy person. I was the notorious for being an unhealthy person in unhealthy relationships. I was the poster child for it, right? And when I say unhealthy relationships, I'm not talking about folks fighting, throwing each other out the window. I'm not talking about stuff like that. But you don't speak to people. Walking in the house, you don't speak to people. The whole whole day. Y'all walking right by each other, and the house so big you're in, and you open up the front door, you knock out the back window, right? And y'all still don't talk. Little old house, y'all bumming each other, won't say nothing. See, I was good at stuff like that. Real good, right? So, but that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. So you have to learn how to get healthy because you're hurt. And when we hurt, we do hurtful things to ourselves and we do hurtful things to other people. And so this is why it's important, imperative that you get healthy. So we are now in session 4, part 4, I should say. And we're going to come from lesson 12 from the book. And we're going to talk a little bit about trust. Because, you hear a lot of times people say, trust is very important in a relationship. I can't be with you if I don't trust you, all the stuff we say, right? So trust is important, but all the pillars are important, right? So, for instance, when you trust people, and let's see, can we go by this real simple? You only trust people based on the truth that they tell you or that they give you. You can only trust the truth they give you. Excuse me. So if someone came and told you their name was one name, you can't say that's not your name, right? If they said that's their name, then you said that's their name to you. Now, if you find out 2 weeks later, a month later, they had another name, you can't fault you because you only trusted the truth that they gave you, right? So if a person have this truth, because you all have truth, and if you spell the word truth, it's Truth, and the letter in the center of truth is you. So one thing that we have to get good at if we want to be healthy people, we have to get good at telling ourselves the truth. You got to tell you the truth. Because if you don't tell you the truth and you lie to yourself, then you lie to other people, right? You lie to the person you're in a relationship with, you lie to them the most, right? Because you won't tell yourself the truth at all. So you lie to yourself about everything, right? And then you just lie to other people because it's easier to lie to other people if you're good at lying to yourself, right? So this is why we got to get good at telling the truth. And if we're not telling the truth, then it's going to harm the trust that we have, right? That people have in us, right? So if you want to actually build the trust in a relationship, you got to be more truthful in the relationship. Now, part of the truthful we have to be more honest where we hurt. This may not make a lot of sense when I'm 20 years old because I'm 20 and everything seems exciting. But after you start living a couple of decades and you've been through a few things, now you realize you got some hurts. And you at 20 years old, you might not realize some things that hurt you, right? You just kind of moving on through life. Been about 30, 40 years old, you might realize, whoa. I've been doing this for like 15 years. And why I always do it this way with these people? Why I can't commit to a relationship? Or why I won't do all these things? Why won't I? How come I got to have 5 girlfriends instead of just one? You don't realize that at 20 because it might be exciting, right? But then when you get 30, 40 years old, you start realizing, man, I haven't committed to nothing. I don't commit to nobody. And now you have to go back and you start backtracking. Maybe somebody broke your trust. And now you have to go back and you start backtracking. Maybe somebody broke your trust at 20. Maybe somebody broke your trust at 10. Maybe somebody broke your trust at 30. A lot of times, now this is not everyone. It's good if somebody find their first love at 18 years old and, they stay married to them 30, 40 years. I mean, I applaud people that can do something like that. That's wonderful. However, for most of us, that's not our story, right? So for some time, we have our first love. That was my first love. She broke my heart. They got another girlfriend, another boyfriend, right? And you might be 19, 20 years old. So that was part of your trust that was broken because you thought they were being faithful to you, right? They took your credit card, ran your credit card all up, or used all your money on something else, or whatever, whatever it was. They didn't even go to school. They were talking about they were in school, and the whole time they were out there doing something else, right? So now your trust has been broken, but usually people don't apologize to us how they broke the trust because we kind of move on with life, may not see them again ever in life, right? But we still carrying them with us, even though they're not with us, right? So, so what happens is we might have a trust issue. You hear people tell you sometimes, I got trust issues. I got trust issues. And you just met them today. So what are they saying, or what are you saying, or what am I saying when we say I have trust issues? What we're saying is that somebody broke my trust last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever it is. And I've been carrying around this trust issue for the last 5 or 10 years. So since I have a trust issue, you got a problem, right? Because you got to do some things. You might have to prove yourself to me because I got trust issues, right? And what ends up happening when we don't accept people for who they are, then a lack of trust is what we usually do to make them try to prove themselves to us. You didn't jump high enough. No. You didn't do that fast enough. You didn't do that quick enough. You did that too slow. Oh no, you only gave me $100. You should have gave me 101. Oh, you should have gave it to me yesterday. You gave it to me today, right? So all these things come up because I don't trust people. So all my trust issues I got to deal with because the person that I walk into the relationship now probably had nothing to do with my trust issues from 5 years ago or 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? So this is why I had to become a healthy person and work on becoming a healthy person so I can get healed of my trust issues. I'm not going to ever pay a woman's rent or mortgage anymore. Why? Because the last one I did, I trusted her and she ended up leaving me, right? I'm not going to buy that man no shoes. Why? Because he walked out of my life and those the shoes he had on, right? So all that stuff go on, right? So what ends up happening is that I don't trust. And now the guy needs some shoes, man. The dude's like almost, shoes got holes in them. And you got a few dollars. You can help the man out and buy him a pair of shoes. But you say, oh no, I don't buy no man no shoes. I buy him a pair of pants. He don't need pants. He needs shoes, right? So, but because my trust issues have been broken, then I'm gonna be a little apprehensive with everyone else. Now, this doesn't mean that you're not aware and cautious. And it's telling you to be naive and just say if somebody says something, you just believe it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that you have to actually trust the truth they give, but people usually act consistent with their behavior, especially the older they get. Usually people don't kind of differentiate that well from the core of who they are. If they raggedy, right? They may act smooth for about a week or two, but raggedy people act raggedy all the time, right? Because that's just the core of who they are. When you're 20, you're pretty good at being an actor. You can kind of switch off and all that stuff, right? You start getting 40, 50 people like, it's just me, right? I'm a raggedy dude, this is how I am, right? So they don't usually change. So, but once you become healthy, then you can identify healthy people and healthy acts. So here's an imperative thing that you need to know, that when you becoming healthy, being in relationships, this is what a lot of us have a problem with. I'm looking for my soulmate. I'm looking for the perfect person. And let me just go ahead and tell you this. Hopefully you know this already, but there is no perfect person on the planet. You're not even perfect. So if somebody said they looking for you and they got you, that they don't have a perfect person. So how you going to want something that you're not even a perfect person. So why would you want a perfect person? Right? So what you want to do, a suggestion, is you want to find you a healed person. Why? That means that you can work on being a healed person. And when somebody find you, they have found the healed person too, right? That means that you should have a healing in you for other people, right? Especially the person that you're going to be in a relationship with. So when you trust people, here is the thing. If you want to be more truthful with yourself, here is this word. And boy, it's a word that a lot of us don't like. And, I'm about to say it on the air. It might be profanity to some people. It's called vulnerability. And I know some people, oh no, he's profanity on the air, right? But no, it's called vulnerability. And a lot of us don't like to be vulnerable. And here's the reason why we want to be vulnerable. Because the last time I was vulnerable, that person took my secret, took what I was vulnerable about, and went out there and told their mama about it. See, so now we don't want to be vulnerable because usually we have a track record and we don't have a lot of people confidants. Now, we breaking in stores, robbing banks. These people keep all our stuff. We cheating on our husband or wife. We got folks that keep all that information. But when we have something like, hey, this hurt me. I did this wrong. I got this issue. I got this problem. These people, once they get mad at us, guess what they do? They go tell everybody, Mama, you wouldn't believe it. Dad, you wouldn't believe this guy. Oh, my God, this guy. So now our business is out there in the street, right? Because of the fact that we got vulnerable. I like to call it emotionally naked, mentally naked, right? We took off all our emotional clothes, showed our stretch marks and all our little pinch more than an inch bar. We showed all the fat and everything. We showed all our stuff. And then you know what you did? You went out and told the pastor. You told the pastor I had a stretch mark, right? I got vulnerable with you. Told you about what I did or what's hurting me, what's ailing me. And you went out and told your girlfriend. You went out and told your boy when y'all was out there smoking cigars. You told, man, she had some problems, man. That's what happened to her, man. You went out there and started telling the business. And now people are looking at the girl and saying, man, she had that type of problem because you done went out there and told this secret. When people are being vulnerable with you and telling you about things that have hurt them, things that's hindering them, that means that they're trusting you. There's no higher form of trust than to tell you my secret about me. When I give you my secret about me, what I'm saying to you, I trust you. And one of the things I trust you about, I trust that you can heal me. Because this thing has been wearing me down for 10 years. This thing has been wearing me down for 20 years. This thing has been wearing me down since my last boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, or whatever it's been, right? It's been wearing me down that long. So I'm going to go ahead and get vulnerable with you. And then you're going to go and tell the pastor. You can go ahead and tell your friends at work. You can go ahead and tell your family. So when I come to the picnic and the barbecue and everything, everybody looking at me sideways like, oh, that man, watch them. Say, how about somebody had a prison record or something like that, or had a bad time in life? Because all of us got a history. You have a history, I have a history. Some stuff gonna go to the grave with everybody, right? Say, man, ain't nobody gonna know about that, right? But some stuff you need to get out of you so that you can kind of live before you go to the grave. And then we get into these relationships, and part of the relationship is trusting or being vulnerable with another person. And when we're vulnerable with another person, what we're doing is opening up to another person. And the reason why we're afraid to be vulnerable, and now we shouldn't try to be vulnerable with everybody. I'm not saying go on social media and tell everybody your business. This is what I did when I was 5, 6, 7, 10, 20. I robbed 25 banks, and then I did this. No, I'm not saying all that, because social media don't need all your information, right? However, when you're in a relationship with someone else, you don't want to be judged, because we all have lived our life and been through stupidville, stupid state, stupid neighborhood, and lived there a while, built a house and everything on stupid avenue, right? We all have done that. Okay, maybe all of us have. I have done that, right? And a lot of people have done that. You're going through life and like you look at it later, like, what in the world was I thinking about? Why was I there? Why did I build a whole life on stupid avenue, right? But that's what happens sometimes. And sometimes we may be embarrassed by how we may have treated other people. Sometimes we are embarrassed about how people treated us, because we say, man, you too smart to be treated like that. Well, apparently I wasn't that smart that decade, right? If I got treated like that. But see, we don't know how to be vulnerable, so we keep ourselves closed in, right? So now we're in relationships with people, and people don't even know that folks got molested. People don't know people got raped. And they've been with these people 10, 15, 20 years. And they don't even know that the person had an issue with this. They don't even know the person had a klepto type of issue going on. Have no idea all this is going on. So why you never go in the store with me? Well, person, I want you to go in the store with me. Well, why? Because you just go in there and I just stay out here in the car. I'll meet you at the house. And the reason why they want you to go in the store, because they have this klepto type situation going on. At one time, anytime they go around, they pick up something, steal it. But you don't know that, but you've been with them for 5, 10 years, right? That's not saying that they bad, but if they tell you that they have this problem, this is why we don't want to tell people stuff, because we're afraid that you're going to judge me. Because the reality is we have so many people that we walk through life that are so judgmental. They got it all together, right? They never done anything wrong. And if you tell them the thing you did, oh my God, you must be the worst person on the planet, right? You just bad news. Now keep in mind, you did that 20 years ago. You haven't done it for the last 20 years. You just happened to do it 20 years ago. But because you did it 20 years ago and you open up and be vulnerable with the person that you with, then they end up saying, oh, you just a bad guy. I knew I should have been with you. I knew I shouldn't have been. You used to be a prostitute for like 5 years. Oh, girl, I want none of that. No. But you've been with them 5 years now. But see, if they let you know that, because they don't look like a prostitute now, they got themselves together and everything. They're doing some things different. But see, because they did that and they built a house on stupid avenue, right? Right. So, they just wasn't in the right place. Some things they just didn't know, right? Some things they just didn't do well. And all of us have been there. So once you become healthy, you understand that people have made mistakes. You understand that people have done some things wrong. You understand that people aren't, when you see them on level 10, they weren't always on level 10. It was sometimes they were on level 1 and they kind of grew up to level 10. Took them about 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, but they finally got there. So one thing you want to do if you're going to be a healthy person, be in a healthy relationship, you're going to have to be open to people so that they can trust you with their secrets, right? Not so that you can tell their secrets, but to trust you with their secrets, because people need to get their secrets out of them. See, one of the things that hurts a lot of us, this is why we can't kind of reach for the stars, do a lot of things, because we're being held down by a lot of our hurts, by a lot of our indiscretions, by a lot of our mistakes, right? So we're being held down by a lot of those things. And since we're being held down by a lot of those things, then it's hard for us to actually move ahead. It's hard for us to advance in life because we're unhealthy. We're still being hurt by that thing. And if you can't see, hurt don't go away just because you got older. Only way hurt go away in your emotional, mental behavior is if it get healed away. If it doesn't get healed away, it won't go away.
It'll be in your life until the day you die if you don't get healed from it, right? So this is why you need another person, a healthy person in your life to help you get healed or heal that hurt away. I already shared with you several times throughout the series that unhealthy people will take your health away and healthy people will take your hurt away. And if you get around more healthy people, then you can be more open, right? And see, we see this with social media all the time because people just asking for help, right? They just want to let you know they did this and did these things. That's fine. But a lot of times we're asking for help on social media, like, help me, help me. Now, we don't put that on there, but we actually do. Some of the stuff we do, people are asking for help. And here's the unfortunate thing. Some of the stuff we do asking for help on social media, a lot of these people are in relationships with people. And they on social media asking for help, but then they're in relationship with somebody, married to somebody for 10, 15 years. And that's supposed to be your help right there. That's where you're supposed to be help getting the healing so that you won't have to go on social media and I see it, right? Because I may not be able to do anything about what you got going on, right? Or what happened to you at 5 years old or 15 years old, what happened to you 5 days ago. But however, somebody, the person you in relationship can help heal you. At least that's part of the process of being in a healthy relationship. So here's something for you. Because you want to be open, like I said, you want to be vulnerable, but you don't need to be vulnerable with everybody. Because everybody can't handle your truth, right? You can barely handle your truth. So everybody else can't handle it, right? And some of the truth you don't even want to handle. So trying to tell everybody is not a good thing. However, I'm an advocate of getting help, right? If you got to seek out help, and it shouldn't say have to, you just go seek out help because we all need it. You need to seek out a counselor, seek out a therapist, seek out some type of help. Go get you some help. I know some people say, oh, no, and I got it. Nothing wrong with me. Get you some help. Read you a book. Go to a class. Go to a conference. Get you some help. Go to a professional so they can help you. Because here's what happens when you get you some help. So a lot of times, a lot of people that we with aren't equipped to help us, right? And this is why help is so important with professionals. Because you can say a lot of your secrets and tell them a lot of your secrets and everything, and they're bound by law to keep your stuff a secret. They can't go out there telling you, guess what? I just talked to him and guess what he did? It's almost like being a priest, right? They can't tell you stuff. They got to keep this stuff a secret. Yeah, this may have happened to you at 5 years old. You got people that done things, that they're ashamed of. And obviously it might have been a bad thing, but going to get you some help will help you get that out of you. You have to get it out of you. And hopefully the person that you're with in the relationship can actually help you get that out. Right? Because sometimes you got to cry about some stuff. And guess what? You might have to cry about that stuff 5, 10, 20, 30 times. You might have to cry about that for the next 3 years. Not that you're crying every day, but some stuff has been paining you so long that it hurts you so bad that it takes a while to get healed from it. Right? I mean, it's nice that you can go to church and people lay hands and your butt will be okay. I wish that worked for everybody, but it doesn't. Right? It'd be nice you go see your counselor one time and then boom, you see me on the show and you got it all and it's straight. But it doesn't work that way. Sometimes it takes time. It takes time to be healed, just like your physical body. If you broke your arm and all that, yeah, somebody can lay hands on your arm and say, yeah, your arm be healed. But guess what? Still going to have to put that cast on for about 6 to 8 weeks so this thing can heal right? So it can heal straight. Same thing in life. Sometimes you might cry every year when something like that happened. It might have been something, something that happened in your house, a parent died, a child died, or somebody like that. And you're supposed to be over it. It happened 5 years ago, right? Because someone would tell you, get over that. Didn't that happen 10 years ago? I mean, they've been gone for 10 years. Aren't you good? Well, see, that might sound cool, but that's my mama. That's my dad. That's my sister. That's my brother. That was my best friend. That was my cousin. That was my aunt. That was my uncle. That was my grandmama, right? That's my granddaddy. So see, people in those situations. So now I'm going to keep this wound up because I ain't going to cry. I ain't going to cry because see, that mean I'm weak. Yeah, that does mean that mean you hurt. And you human. And humans hurt sometimes. Not all. Now, you don't go around hurt all the time because then you definitely need to go get you some help. Walking around here hurt all the time, then that means you might be walking through depression, right? But you want to actually get you some help. And this is why it's imperative that you be in a healthy relationship. Because once you learn some tools to help heal yourself, then the person you're in a relationship with, you can pass those tools on to the person that you're in a relationship to, and you can share the tools you have. A lot of times we don't know all the tools. It could be 1,000 tools that can help heal a person. You only know 5. I only know 5, but we get together, that's 10. You understand? So then maybe if we all get together and then, you use your 5 with me and I use my 5 with you, and then that's 10, then we might find about 4 or 5 more. Now we got like 14, 15, 20. So now these things start doubling and tripling and everything. the longer we just together, because there's a lot of hurt that we have went through. The only person that don't have a lot of hurt is somebody that's about a year old, right? They only been here about a year. But when you start getting 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, trust me, you got a pal. You got a big old pal there behind you. So this is why something that we want to do.
Not only do we want to trust some things, we want to feel appreciated. A lot of times we are in relationships with people, and this is always a tale of unhealthy relationships. You got people in the unhealthy relationships, they don't feel appreciated. I've been in relationships where I just didn't feel appreciated. Like, dang, what's up? Right? I'm not asking for no parade or nothing, but dang. It's like a thank you, maybe. Right? Every now and then. But see, when you're in unhealthy relationships, unhealthy people are so unhealthy. They don't want you to do nothing for them because they're afraid they might have to say thank you. Now, I know that sounds silly. I know that sounds a little elementary. But the truth is, don't do nothing. Because if you do something good for them, guess what they got to say? Thank you. They got to appreciate something you did. And they don't want to do that. Not you. Maybe they want to do it for somebody else, but not you, right? So what we end up doing, we end up hanging around these relationships and that we feel unappreciative, right? Or unappreciated, I should say. And see, let's look at appreciate for a minute. And we're going to put this with value or money, just for an example. So when, let's say you have a house, right? A real estate, and it goes up in value, right? It appreciates. And what that means is it went up in value. It was $100,000 and now it appreciated is $110,000, right? Here's how you know you're in a healthy relationship. When you get in a healthy relationship, your emotional you, your mental you should appreciate. You should become more valuable than you were before I met you. Not because of anything other than I brought value to you so you can become more valuable than you, right? So this is why I appreciate you because you helped me become valuable than me. Because you brought value. But ends up happening when we in unhealthy relationships, we end up becoming devalued. We were worth $100,000, but I hung out with you. Now I'm worth like $75,000, right? Not like, again, not monetary. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, I use that for an example. But what I'm saying is that when you get with unhealthy people, they would devalue you. See, when I met you, ooh, girl, you're the finest thing I ever seen. Ooh, right? You fine. You just fine, right? But then after a while, we've been together for a year, 5 years, whatever, you ain't that fine. Matter of fact, you got a big old nose, right? See, now, I didn't say that when I first met you. See, when I met you, you had the prettiest little nose ever, right? Now, I'm devaluing you, and you didn't even know you had a big nose. So I kept saying, you old fat nose. So you start looking in the mirror. You don't know if you got a big nose or not. Somebody said, you big nose, you a big head. You start looking, do I have a big head? Right? Because you don't know, right? But when people say it enough, you start questioning you. Maybe my nose is big, right? Because of the fact that they're devaluing you. Now you feel less than you were the day you met them. Now it's been 5 years and you're steady depreciating and you're not appreciating. And this is why when you're depreciating in a relationship, you don't feel appreciated in the relationship. This is why we have to focus on being healthy, because we got to appreciate us, because how we do ourselves and how we're going to do other people, but how we do ourselves and somebody do us a little bit different, we know that, wait a minute, I don't talk about me that bad. And then you said that about me. I don't say that to me. I remember, I think I shared with you in one of the sessions, I used to let people say pretty much anything to me. I used to pretty much let them say anything to me and anything about me, right? And my take was, hey, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't phase me. It rolled off the back of my head like a water rub off a duck's back. It's all good, right? Not realizing that stuff was damaging me. I was being cut every time. Because see, once person say something derogatory to you, trust me, they feel they can say it again, right? And since you don't, I wouldn't say nothing back, like whatever. Yeah, whatever. So I'm getting called all these names. So now I want to get healthy, right? So I'm in my life, I'm getting healthy. I'm working on myself to become a healthier person and everything. And not that I was mad at anybody, because it wasn't their fault that they kept saying what they said. It was my fault because I kept allowing them to say it, right? So I figured that I can help that. I can work on that with me, because I'm sure if I seen them 2 years later, they would say the same thing they said 2 years prior, right? Because that's how they felt about me, right? However, I don't feel that same way about me that you feel about me, right? I feel better about myself. So then I got into met someone, and then they kind of came out of the box and started trying to talk about me. I said, oh, whoa, lose my number, right? Don't call me no more, because I don't talk about me like that. And I'd be sure, I almost said it a different way, that I'm gonna let you talk to me about like that, right? So that's when I knew I was growing and I was getting healthier because I wasn't allowing people to say what they wanted to say derogatory about me because I wasn't saying derogatory things about me. It was a time in my life. It's going a long way back, right? that I used to record something on a cassette tape. So you know how old I'm telling you I am, right? So, and I used to say all these great things about me on this cassette tape. And how great I was, all this stuff, right? And how good I am, how I bounce back and all these things. So I would say these good things about me. So when you listen to this stuff all day, and then when people weren't saying stuff like that to me all day, I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Something wrong. Now some people may say, oh, that's vanity and everything. No, see, when you've been beat up verbally for so many years by so many different people, the faces and the names change, but the same type of situation I'm allowing to happen. So now you got to try to build yourself up. You got to find your tools, right, to help you become better, right? You got to find what tools to help you become healthier. That was one of the tools that I've used and still use today, right? That I had to use, and I've been doing that for probably, a good 30 years, but, I've been it on and off for that long. So every time I find out that I'm getting a little unhealthy, I say, I better make me another recording. So, say how great I am, right? Right. And again, not vanity. So that when someone step into my life, if I'm saying that about me, I can say that about them. I can find something good in them because I found something good in me, right? So this helped me become healthier. It helped me start appreciating me more. Then it put me in a situation where I can appreciate other people more, right? But then it lets me know when people didn't appreciate me, then I didn't have to hang around. I'd have to be because I want to always prove to you that I'm a nice guy, right? That's why I took so much crap off people, right? I want to prove to you that I'm a nice guy. I'm a good guy. I'm not that type of guy you talking about. I'm a good guy, right? Well, in the process of that, I'm getting cut, hit upside the head with a skillet, so to speak, talked about all bad. And so all that stuff damaged me. So it took me a while to kind of unravel myself from that. See, that's why I had to go seek some help and seek support groups and all that different stuff, read books and all that. Why? So I had to get my health back together again. And you may have to do the same thing too, right? Because you can't wait on anybody. Because if I wait on any of all those people that said all that stuff derogatory about me, none of them had came back and tried to help get me healthy. Okay? So if I've been waiting on them, I would have never got healthy. So this is something that you got to do it yourself. You have to put the work in. You have to read a book. You have to read the book 5 times, 10 times. You have to go to a class. You have to go to conference. You're gonna have to go get you some help. Talk to a counselor. Get to a support group. You got to do whatever you got to do to get healthier than you are, right? Because you have been damaged by people, and I know I damaged people in my past, right? Because hurt people. And I'm not making an excuse, but when you run around there hurt, you only know how to act one way. You know how to devalue people too. They devalue you. You devalue them. They devalue you. You devalue them some more, right? This is the kind of unhealthy relationships that we find ourselves in. And then we end up being in these relationships for 5, 10, 20, 30 years. And we die being in these relationships. But heard what I just said. We die being in these relationships. We die before we die, right? So because we're in these unhealthy relationships and they're so toxic that they kill the health in us. But we've been in it 20 years and then we die and leave the planet. But we were already dead for about 19 years in this unhealthy relationship. You don't like him or her. They don't like you. But you know what? Y'all married. You got to stay together, right? Y'all married, right? Who else gonna want you, right? So who else? I got kids bound. I mean, hey, we got this big old house. I guess I got to stay with you, right? But even though we don't like each other, you don't like me, I don't like you, and you rolling your eyes at me, I'm rolling my eyes at you. You throwing stuff at me, I'm throwing stuff at you. All this going on, and we die in these relationships before we actually die in life. So a lot of us are walking around physically dead because we are in unhealthy relationships. And this is our 4th unhealthy relationship, 15th unhealthy. And we had so many unhealthy relationships. And I might as well just stay with you, man. I might as well just stay with you, woman. I guess I might as well go and just stay with you because I done had 14 unhealthy relationships in a row. The chances are I'm probably going to have another 14 in a row if I get rid of you. So I might as well go and just stay with your butt until, instead of go out there and try to find somebody else. This is what happened when we think unhealthy. This is what happened when we so used to being in an unhealthy relationship. Our value is depreciating. So now you get with healthy people, they will value you more, right? They'll value your presence, value who you are. You said, well,
I only just cooked you dinner. They act like they never ate before, right? Because they value who you are and what you're doing for them, right? And if a person again is not valuing you, they're devaluing you. But here's the problem. Here's the thing. When a person is valuing you, they treasure you, right? They treasure you. And if they don't value you, they're gonna trash you. And see, we got a lot of people that just trash each other. They just throw this trash and they trash the husband, trash the wife, trash the boyfriend, trash the girlfriend. They just trashing these people. And when you think about it, if they are so bad, why are you still there? What does that say about you when you are with trash and you throwing trash and they throwing trash at you? What does that say about you? You know what it say about you? You are unhealthy. And I shared with you earlier in one of the sessions. Unhealthy is also mean not, healthy mean well. You are not well emotionally. You are not well mentally. And your job is to get well emotionally, and your job is to get well mentally. These two things go together. Some of us want to walk around the planet like, there's no such thing as emotion. Don't have no emotion. Don't show no emotion. That's part of you, emotions, right? That's almost like saying, don't think. Don't show no thinking. Don't think at all. You can't help but think. You got a mind. That's part of your mental. Your mental and your emotional well-being are intertwined with one another. It's okay to be emotional, right? If somebody was trying to take your kid out the back of the car and trying to, steal your child, you better get emotional and call mad, anger, and try to get that person from trying to take your child. That's okay. That's an emotion, right? But at the same time, you can't walk around mad all the time. Can't be mad at everything. Can't be angry at everybody, right? That's just those are emotions, right? And at the same time, somebody you love or they love you and they like you, hey, you should be, I love you so much. I love you so much. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be happy to see somebody. Even a dog wags its tail real good when you come home, right? They're like, oh, I'm so happy to see you, right? Maybe you can be okay to happy to see people, but see, I'm trying not to be emotional. I know I like to see her, but I ain't gonna act like I like to see her, right? I'm not gonna act like I miss her. I'm not gonna act like she look good to me. Yeah, you look all right. Yeah, you look okay. Yeah. But it really does look nice. But because I don't know how to deal with my emotions, I can't even say some good stuff. I can't even do no compliments because I'm so unhealthy. And once I get healthy, I don't look at it as bad to give a compliment. Somebody, you can't wait to see somebody. You give somebody a big old hug because you can't wait to, I know I seen you early this morning, but oh man, I'll see you again. Oh, I can't wait to see you, right? Because of the fact that it's part of the emotion and they work together. So this is how you want to actually be valued, and your value goes up because you feel more appreciated. I mean, anytime you've been in any relationship, I don't care if it's a friend, it can be a parent, child relationship, it can be any type. When you feel appreciated, you feel good. You feel like you mean something to somebody. Now, here's the reality. You don't mean nothing to everybody. That's just the truth. For one, everybody don't know you are on the planet. Everybody don't know I'm on the planet, right? So I don't mean anything to everybody. But, somebody, a few people I might mean something to. And you want to feel good about that because you mean something to somebody. When people make you feel like you appreciate it, then that means that you feel like I mean something to them, right? And if they don't make you feel like you appreciate it, then you tell yourself, I guess I don't mean nothing to them, right? So this is when people start, not being aware of what we're doing. So now here's something else we need. Now this falls into something else. Appreciation, all trust and all that. It's something called respect, right? Yeah, but you're going to respect me. Now, some things we say, you may not like me, but you're going to respect me. Okay, I'm going to respect you, but it's okay not to like you as long as I respect, right? See, this is all unhealthy stuff. All this stuff go together. I need to be respected. I need to be appreciated. I need to be trusted. I need to be loved. I need to, all these different things. I need to be affirmed. All these things. I need to be encouraged. I need to be helped. You need all this stuff. I need all this stuff. And see, you're going to be a healthy person. You need to first give it to you because you can only give what you have. If you don't have it, you can't give it. So if you don't have all this stuff, you don't have self-respect, how you going to give other respect? So that means that if you have very little self-respect, you're going to give a whole lot of disrespect. Now, with disrespect, what we get good at doing, we trade insults. That's why you got that big old fat nose. That's why you got that eye that don't look good, right? All this different stuff, right? And that's why you... I need to act better in public. But here, so that's why you got all these different problems. So we just trade insults. That's why you're fat. Well, that's why your feet stink. Well, that's why you got, that's why you got to wear glasses. All these different things we say
Then we start talking about people relatives. That's why your mama big too, right? Because we start saying all these because we're trading insults. This is a form of disrespect. I'm making a little light of making kind of funny, but this is disrespect. And what we end up doing, we get so good at disrespecting others because they disrespect us. So we're gonna trade insults with them. That is not healthy. That is unhealthy. Sitting around trading insults all day, talking about the people that you have chosen to be with. You chose that person. And then you talking about and trading insults, and they chose you, right? But again, you've been selected. That doesn't mean you've been accepted, right? So now trading insults, and because I've been unhealthy. See, I was unhealthy in the last 5 relationships. You unhealthy in the last 5 relationships. You just number 6. I'm just number 6, right? So now the unhealthy and the disrespect show. Now keep in mind, when we first met, man, I didn't show you none of that disrespect. No insults at all. 2 weeks later, a month later, 6 years later, oh, I'm good at insult. I insult you on the phone. I insult you through a text. I insult you on email. I insult you on social media because I'm good at being unhealthy, right? And I think I'm big and bad because you're going to respect me, but I don't respect me and I don't respect you either. That's why I'm giving you all these insults, right? So this is why you have to understand that, wait a minute, that's an insult, right? Because again, the person that insulted you, unhealthy people, even if they insult you and know they insulted you, know they devalued you, know they trash you, one thing they won't do, they won't apologize to you. Because that's a healthy act. To apologize to somebody, say, oh man, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that, shouldn't have said that. Then, sorry it came out that way. I work on getting that better. See, we start doing that. That's called a healthy act. And unhealthy people don't do no stuff like apologize. That's not part of their resume or repertoire, right? They don't do that. So that means that they're unhealthy people. And then if you keep hanging around them, then you're going to be an unhealthy person. And since you're going to be an unhealthy person, then you're going to do unhealthy things. You're going to be in these unhealthy relationships, all because of the fact that you've been with those people. Or you're going to be with them because of the fact that, like, here's something for you. People said, I'm trying to save my marriage or save my relationship. And very seldom you hear people say they want to keep the person. They're trying to save the title. Some people just marry because they don't want to be single. They don't want to be alone, right? Some people just in a relationship because they don't want to be alone. So they in these, we get in these raggedy relationships. People aren't healthy. They're not helping me get healthy, not helping me get over some things that I have going on. But you know what? I got somebody. Hey, I got somebody and somebody got me. Even though we don't like each other. We don't even talk to each other, right? I look at you funny, you look at me funny, right? But you know what? We ain't alone, right? We together. And this is really unhealthy. There's no peace in that. Healthy relationships have one thing that's common with them, and it's called peace. You're going to have a peace in healthy relationships. You're not going to have perfect, but you will have peace. And if you have two healthy people that are peaceful people, even if they disagree on some things, even though they don't, they may even argue about some things, they're going to always try to find a way to find peace with one another. And peace don't mean I'm not talking to you no more. That's not peace, right? Peace means that we're going to work it out and we're going to be in this peaceful relationship. So I got a longer recap. So I'm going to promote this person one more time before I recap the whole series here. And if you want to get promoted on the show, you can get in touch with me at fullerpurposemedia@gmail.com, and we can talk about it and see if my show fit what you do, and see if what you do fit or your business or products or services fit what my show is all about too. So Miss Pamela Denise, she's a real estate professional. And whether you are a first-time home buyer, an investor, looking to build your portfolio, or you're purchasing your dream home, Pamela Denise at Exception Realty is who you need to call. She has 24 years of experience and a team that is ready, willing, and very capable to assist in all of your real estate needs. You will also get a free consultation by mentioning you heard about Pamela Denise on a Greater You show here on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart Station with the host, Dr. Anthony L. Gantt. Again, for more information, contact Ms. Pamela Denise at 773-447-8546. That's 773-447-8546, or info at keepitmoving.us. That's info at KEEP as in Paul, IT as in Tom, MOV as in Victor, ING as in great.us. So get in contact with her to help you with your real estate needs, with some of your real estate achievements that you want to achieve, I should say, or goals that you have. So let's do a recap. It's been a long series. This part of this series is about over. But so let's do a recap. So here's something for you. When I was trying to figure out that I need to be a healthy person, I was trying to identify what I could use to know if I'm being healthy and what I can use to know if a person that I was in relationship with to any capacity, were they being healthy, right? Because you could say I'm being healthy, and sometimes when you use the word healthy, people just think of physical body, but that's not what I'm talking about. Again, your emotional and mental health, right? So here's how I gave you the 7 pillars. I'm going to put it in a little quick order for you, and all this information's in the book too. So here's how I help myself identify if I'm being healthy or if I'm being unhealthy. So the 7 pillars is actually the word healthy for me, and it's an acronym for me. And I just go over them real quickly for you. The H in healthy is help. I need to make sure I'm helping myself, and I need to make sure I try to help other people, right? And help people that I'm in relationship with to some capacity. If I find out that something that they have a need with or something like that. Now, again, this is not financial and all that stuff. I know people equate only helping people with money, but I'm talking about helping them emotional, if they're going through something. I try to initiate some type of help, right? And if I'm not initiating help, I'm not trying to help myself emotionally or mentally, then I'm not acting in a healthy manner. So, because helping people is how you actually aid people, and it keeps you from being a frustration to people, and it also helps you make their life easier. So when I get into relationships with friends or anything like that, or whoever it is, right, or regular intimate relationship, I'm trying to do the best I can to make their life as easier as I can for them. So I'm trying to remove obstacles out of their way. So if I'm putting obstacles in their way, then I know I'm not acting as a healthy person. If I'm putting the obstacles in my way, I know I'm not acting a healthy person, because I can only give what I have. The E is for encouragement. You got to be good at encouraging yourself, but you got to also be good at encouraging other people too. People need encouragement, right? People are afraid of a whole lot of things. That's why the word courage is there, right? Your job is to add some courage to their courage. So I try to encourage people, because I do that work in encouraging myself. If I'm not encouraging myself, if I'm doubting myself, I'm going to pass that doubt on to the people that I'm in relationships with, right? So I don't want to pass on doubt. I don't want to pass on fear. I want to pass on courage, right? I want to pass on faith, belief, right? So that means I have to encourage myself a lot, have faith in myself a lot, believe in myself a lot, so I can pass that on to people they're in a relationship with. But at the same time, I want to make sure they have some encouragement too, because this thing need to be reciprocal, right? I need encouragement too. I just can't be the only one to encourage myself. I like to look up in the stands sometimes and see somebody cheering for me. You understand? So that's how I learned how to do that. The A is for affirmations. The strength of your relationship is in the affirmations that you make. Firm means strong. So if you saying affirmations or saying things, they got to be positive affirmations, right? So you want to say positive affirmations. In other words, you want to compliment people. Hey, they got a pretty dress on. Say they got a pretty dress. They got pretty shoes on. Hey, they did that good. They cooked some good dinner. Whatever it is, right? You want to find as many times or many ways as you can to compliment yourself and also compliment other people, because you can only give what you have. And whatever you have in abundance, you're going to give away generously, right? You're going to give it away in abundance. So if you compliment yourself, not vanity now, but you compliment yourself, then you can compliment other people. In other words, find people doing something right. Find some people doing something well. Find out when you do something right. Find out when you do something well. And then when you find that somebody did something well, somebody did something right, compliment them on it. That means that you're acting in a healthy manner. The L is for love. You got to love people. You got to love yourself. And the love you give yourself, you got to love other people. It takes love to get healed, man. I mean, people been through some stuff, man. They've been felt so unloved. I mean, I've been through life and felt unloved before by people and by situations, because of situations that happen, right? So people need love. So you got to love yourself so you can get love to other people. When they come into your life, they need some love. When my mom passed away over 21 years ago, that was my buddy. That's my cheerleader. That's my friend. It's not, she just happened to be my person. She made such a positive impact on my person. It was hard for me to kind of move once she was gone, because I didn't have anybody to call. I didn't have anybody to vent to. I didn't have anybody to cry to, right? Because I couldn't cry to no woman, because she might say you're being a little sensitive. But so I can cry to my mom. I don't know why it didn't work, right? And I wouldn't feel bad, right? Well, I knew that I needed some concern. I needed some love. I needed some caring, right? And it was hard to find, because so many people need love like I needed it, right? And I needed it obviously before she passed away, but I'm just sharing with you, you need love. We all need love. You have to love yourself more so you can love the people that you're in relationships more. Because here's the reality. If you love somebody in your life and all that stuff, they mean something to you and all that, hey, I'm not, I mean, I want him and her to be here for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. But the fact is, I don't know how long you and I going to be here. They might only be here another year. Don't wait till folks leave and then, oh, I love them so much. Then you say how much you love them, but they can't hear you. They gone. I mean, act like they're going to be here a year and tell them every day you love them. You right? And tell yourself every day you love yourself too. All right. Uh, the T is for trust, truth, I should say. Right. So you got to have truth in a relationship. You got to be truthful with yourself. I already said this session here. Tell yourself the truth. Stop lying to yourself, being dishonest with yourself. Tell yourself the truth. If you hurt, say you hurt. If you feel good, say you feel good. If you're confused, say you're confused. If you don't address it, you can't fix it. So if you don't address issues that you have and not be honest with yourself, how are you going to be healthier? And then how are you going to be healthy with other people? If you let yourself slide and tell yourself all these lies, you'll get in a relationship with other people and they're going the wrong way. You won't tell them they're going the wrong way because you don't even say that to yourself. You won't help them get on track because you don't even help yourself get on track. So you got to be a healthy person and tell yourself the truth. The H is for honor. You got to honor you, right? You got to honor yourself. You got to honor the people you love. Now, you don't have to worship. I'm not into worshiping nobody, right? You don't worship no person, right? But you do honor them, right? And if somebody wants you to worship them, go ahead and just turn the other way and go somewhere else. I don't give a care if it's a leader, the boss at the job, the pastor, or the person on the block, the husband, wife. And you are not on the planet but worship God. You don't have to worship no person, right? So, but you can honor people, right? And they don't have to have a position or a title for you to honor them. Here's the position they have. They're in your life. So you appreciate them. The more you honor yourself, the more you appreciate. And the more appreciation you have, the more appreciation you can give to other people. And you can honor other people because they're in your life to some capacity. And the Y is for yielding. Yielding is being able to not resist, but accept. When you find people that's healthy come into your life, then you want to respect that, right? Because that's how you respect people. I respect people that want to heal me. If you got my best interest in mind, I can't help but say yes to that because apparently I need some help and I know I need help. I need to get healed. And you willing to heal me? Well, hey, you know what? Come on in, right? But if you're willing to hurt me, you better believe the doors are shut, everything closed down because I don't want nobody coming in to hurt me on purpose. I know you may hurt me on accident, but not on purpose. Those are the 7 pillars that I use for myself to let me know if I'm on track, off track, if I'm acting like a healthy person or if I'm acting like an unhealthy person. See, if I'm trading insults, hey, man, you're not acting healthy, man. You up there talking about them like a dog. Yeah, let me get myself together, right? You see what I'm saying? So now you have to realize when you're going off track. How come you didn't encourage them? How come you didn't say they can make it? How come you said they can do it? How come you didn't encourage them to get a promotion on their job or try to find another job, buy a house, buy a car, whatever, right? How come you didn't encourage them to do that? Oh, man, you're not acting healthy, right? So you get good at doing this with yourself. It'll help your relationship because the person that you would receive all this health that you have because of what you can only give away what you have. And whatever you have, you're going to give away a generous amount of it or an abundance amount of it every day, on purpose and on accident. So that's why you want to have as much health as possible. And health is a present tense word. That means that you have to always be present tense with health. You can say, yeah, I acted healthy last week. But if you don't always try to focus on being healthy, you won't be acting healthy this week. Because see, you got to keep putting this stuff in so you can keep getting this stuff out. So I said a whole lot. And I do appreciate you giving me the opportunity to help you learn how to be in healthy relationships. I don't take that lightly. And as I always say to close for the show, that great people like you have been born great. Working on yourself will help you become a greater you. And I'll see you next time.